last market update before hopefully many of you join us for the Karlsruhe networking night at Schwarzwaldhalle starting at 7 p.m. But now we talk about efficient passenger information systems to increase customer relation. We have 4 presentations, and after each presentation, after every speech, you can ask your questions if you have any. So plenty of time for all of this, and we start with AI solutions to measure passenger numbers and detect congestion on public transport vehicles. Just one sentence about AI. It was very interesting. Yesterday in our opening session, we had the futurist Gerd Leonard as keynote speaker, and he said, AI, this is a misunderstanding. It's not artificial intelligence. In fact, it's IA. It's intelligent assistance. And I think this is very useful to have that in mind when people say, oh, AI, what's coming there? Don't be afraid of AI. It's just intelligent assistance. So it's about AI solutions, and Balazs Berki, Business Development Director UK and Europe at Streamax, will discuss use cases of their automatic passenger counting, congestion status monitoring systems with dynamic mosaic feature for privacy protection based on the adoption of AI technology. Good luck.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks guys for being here today. I know this is quite late in the afternoon, so you've probably heard a lot of information already today. I'll try to be as high level as possible to be able to summarize what Streamax is looking at providing solutions for passenger counting. Myself, as in the introduction you heard, I'm Business Development Director, and I'm dealing with the UK and continental European markets for Streamax. Just to give you the big picture, so the rising mobility challenges are obviously the urban population growth and the massive increase in congestions. All the problems around carbon emissions triggering climate issues and severe weather conditions around the world. These are all the macro factors that are giving hard time and headaches for public transport operators. If you look at the complexities of the services for public transport, you realize that there are actually problems such as the adaptation of timetables and matching those timetables with the actual demand. Also, the issue around the analysis of passenger flow and all the patterns and related behaviors. These are very important aspects, because if you want to be able to provide a customer-friendly and highly accurate and well-designed public transport service, you need to keep always the passengers in mind, because they are the users of the services. So there is no way that pleasing them is not doesn't have to be the absolute top priority. So understanding the passenger flow and matching the demands with the services, managing social distancing aspects within stations and within inside the vehicles on board, improving waiting times and queuing, and the optimization of the occupancy and all the required thresholds is an absolute key for passenger operators. If you look at the current systems or technologies that are used by public transport operators, there are various technologies that you can see also across this trade show here at IT Trans. But most of you have probably come across the manual counting, what is used quite widely across the globe by passenger operators. I was talking to operators in London, and the way they are counting passengers is, or trying to assess whether the vehicle is congested, is a physical check. The driver turns back and just observes what is going on inside with no idea what's happening in the second deck of the vehicle if it's a double-decker bus. So technologies are essential. Manual counting is definitely not going to solve the problems. Ticket control at the vehicle doors where passengers are activating their ticket. It is somehow giving a good idea about passenger counts, but it is actually not telling the operators when the passenger is actually alighting the vehicle, when the passenger is getting off. So the real-time onboard passenger count will never be accurate if you're purely looking at these aspects. There are also technologies in some markets, wireless technologies, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, used for not too accurate passenger counting using the mobile phones and then related connectivities. Floor counting mats and train weight measuring sensors built in are also used, sometimes combined, sometimes individually on vehicles. And lastly, the technology that I'm going to talk about is the automatic passenger counting sensors. And I'm going to show you what Streamax has been doing in the last couple of years in these technologies. In the video, you can see a traditional view from a passenger counter sensor. This sensor, which we call P2 sensor, was our first generation passenger counter, which is using the time-of-flight technology. That is basically using infrared light and measuring the speed of the light bouncing back from the surface of the object. And using this technology, it is very accurately able to tell what is going to be the actual passenger number boarding the vehicle and alighting the vehicle. So it works both for passengers in and out. The newest generation technology, which we have been recently started to use, and I will show you a few use cases later on, is the actual video technology. And the reason why we developed this system is that Streamax is mainly focusing on video technology and surveillance systems and AI-powered active camera solutions, such as ADAS, blind spot detection on vehicles. So it was quite a natural next step for us to take this technology and make it available on passenger counters. So P3 is representing this combination of our competence with AI and the highest accuracy video technology. It can be used for both video recording, because it has a high definition, clear picture, as you can see on the video, but it also has the ability to very accurately identify the patterns of the individual passengers from above. So obviously this is fully GDPR compliant system. The system is also IT for PT compliant, so it makes the integration into third-party onboard units quite straightforward and smooth. It's almost like a plug and play. And last but not least, it can work both with our Streamax manufactured CCTV solutions in combination with many other systems, or as a standalone solution. The third one, this is actually a brand new development which we started this year, and we are now testing it with a few customers in Asia. And also we will be starting a beta testing very soon in Europe with one client. The new requirement is OD, origin destination has to be integrated. The reason why we developed this system, which is very similar to the previous camera, is that it's not only able to tell you the number of passengers boarding and alighting, but it is also registering some typical features like hair color of your dress, and some other features, up to probably 10 different features that can identify a person from above. And this system is able then to tell the operator if that person who is basically tagged on the passenger counting platform, where the person is onboarding, at which station, and which is the station where the passenger is leaving the vehicle, getting off. So this gives another layer of planning support for timetable and demand planning management for operators, because operators will know even better how they can better match the demand for the stations that are mostly more popular within their network. So it's, again, just another layer. This system is not really passenger counting. It is just, in principle, telling the bus operators in one country in Asia whether the vehicle is congested or not congested. So literally, it is just detecting the crowd and the individual people. And it is also able to use the dynamic mosaic masking feature, which can be seen mainly on the right-hand side video, where the masking is following the movement of the passengers. This makes the system fully compliant with privacy requirements and GDPR. And then there is a platform. All the data of the APC system sensors are fed into a central platform, which has the ability to cooperate with third-party platforms. So through SDK development, there is a very flexible and straightforward opportunity to offer integration of the system. But if the operator does not possess a platform that could deal with the statistics and the historical data and support the planning, we have a platform as well, which is using different standards. In this instance, which I'm showing you, it is using the GTFS standard, which has data information from about peak, off-peak times, weekdays, weekends, holidays, and it also feeds the data about stops, lines, and all different schedules of the operation. And this is then matched together with, as you can see on the statistics on the chart, it is matched together with the data that the passenger counting systems are providing. And with that, it is basically giving a sort of a helicopter view of the operations for a passenger operator in a city. Excuse me. And this makes their lives much easier. Just a little bit of an overview of where we come from. StreamX is on the market, has been on the market for over 20 years now. We are members of some of the major associations worldwide, such as UITP. We are proudly members, also IT for PT. But we are also very open and very agile in terms of reaching out to local initiatives such as the Smart Mobility Living Lab in London, or CPT, which is one of the bus operations associations in the UK, as an example. As you can see on the map, we are everywhere around the world, and we have over 2.1 million commercial vehicles that are using our onboard technologies, mainly the traditional surveillance CCTV technologies, video recorders and cameras. But in the last 5 years, since we ventured into the AI-powered active safety solutions, over 600,000 vehicles are already using AI-powered systems, which also includes our passenger counting sensors. You can see that the verticals we are active in is literally anything from trains to coaches, to buses and refuse vehicles, dump trucks, anything that is a commercial vehicle that runs on road or rail. And we are talking about heavy rail and urban rail as well. Let me show you a use case from Singapore where the local operator, bus operator, is using initially on 200 double-decker vehicles to use the passenger counting systems from Streamax to monitor both the lower deck and the upper deck of the double-deckers. And with the technology, they have the ability to fully understand how many free seats are available on the top deck, so that it makes the life of passengers more easier. They don't have to go upstairs, climb upstairs, and then come back downstairs if there are not enough seats, because it's prohibited to stand during the vehicle is moving, so you definitely need seats. So this is helping that. We are also running a proof of concept in Singapore on a single deck vehicle with the same technology, but a display that is basically telling passengers to move from the front of the vehicle where they are boarding the vehicle to validate their tickets. It is quite a habit of passengers, as you may know from experience, that they jump on a vehicle, jump on a bus or a tram, and they are stationary in that position where they just entered. So this can cause significant crowding. So this display is telling passengers to move to the back, to the rear of the vehicle, to free up some space in the front and help spread the congestion across the vehicle. And the last two examples are coming from China. And I particularly wanted to mention these because these are one of the largest bus operations in the world. In Shenzhen, there are over 16,000 electric buses running up and down the city every day. And nearly 3,500 of them are already using our passenger counting systems. We are talking about 2 passenger counters on 2-door buses, so nearly 7,000 systems are there. The other location is Huizhou, where we are using the technology on 500 vehicles. And the interesting bit is basically the system is used to optimize the dispatching of vehicles. So it's already part of the timetable management and demand planning for the operator, and it's an essential element for them. So they are looking at extending it to the entire fleet. And both projects are running at up to 99% accuracy for the passenger counting. So this is a very important project for us. And just quickly, briefly, the conclusion. So we looked at systems, mainly sensors, using time-of-flight technology and AI-powered technologies. Hopefully, you understand the differences and the benefits. And how the congestion level can be more accurately measured by these sensors. It is absolutely essential to identify also different objects that are coming alongside the passengers, such as wheelchairs, prams, bicycles. So there is a clear capability of AI vision to detect different objects on board. And lastly, the real-time part of the passenger counting systems is really helping the real-time demand planning. And the whole system is backed up with the remote management platforms using the systems and the standards. As I already mentioned, one example is the GTFS data standards. So I try to be very quick today. I don't know if you have any questions. We have a booth in the DM Arena, S9. So please feel free to come along and see what passenger counting and other technologies, AI-powered technologies we've got. And hopefully we'll see each other later today or tomorrow. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'll be around.
Thank you very much, Balazs Berki from StreamX. Any questions now? Yes. Can you go? Okay.
Hello. Yeah, I have a question regarding your counting plus OD, detection. How accurate could that be? Because people can take off jacket, take off hats, that kind of thing.
Yes, it's a very good question. Thank you very much. So as I said, the traditional standard counting, we say that the accuracy is above 99%, so it's very high. With the OD, it's still under development, but the results right now are already relatively, I would say, high enough to satisfy the requirements of many operators that we are using the testing. It's around 80% right now, so it's definitely not there where we are where it should be. But because we are using deep learning technologies, machine learning as part of the AI journey, we are very confident that by the time we will have the beta tests completed this year, we will have the technology up to the same level as the other technologies I've introduced to you today.
Thank you. Any more questions? No questions left. So
thank you very much.
Maybe they visit you at your booth. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Balazs Berki. David Varga, co-founder and CEO.